There's been a lot of years in between there. A lot of fun. But I just remember being uber nervous. We played a tiny little tent at like noon or something, and that was when we, like, Matthew and I were staying in a motel room together and stuff right up the road, and we'd take vans over. We took vans over, and we were just like the kids at the you know, at Bonnaroo. We were the youngest band there probably. I was just turned 16 or something.
That was great. We had played a ton of festivals in Europe and the UK before we had played any, pretty much any shows in America, really. So it was kind of like our first experience of an American festival, and it was kind of cool because it was so close to home that a lot of our friends and family got to come and hang out. We pretty much played our show, partied to the wee hours, and then went to the motel, slept for a couple hours, and started it all over.
It was amazing. It's like like camp or something like that. You get to see all your friends who are in bands, and you meet up with everybody, and you all like party and eat together, and you all go back to your buses at night. And I don't know. I never went to camp as a kid, but I thought that's, you know, like probably pretty comparable.
I think the 2004 Bonnaroo performance was one of our great performances. I remember being like outside of the tent and hearing the people roar, and we all looked at each other like, holy, you know, there's a lot of people out there. I mean, still to this day, every time we'll run into people all the time, like, man, that train at Bonnaroo in 04 was just blew my mind. And I actually got on YouTube and watched it before we came to Bonnaroo this year, because I knew we were putting it in the set, just to see how hard we rocked back then.
Playing Bonnaroo in 2004, we weren't very good. Like, literally, like, we were not good players. So what I did, at least, I overcompensated with the way that I looked. So, like, I would bang my head and, like, jump around and, like, think, like, if I do this enough, maybe they will not notice how bad I am playing. So now that I'm a better player and stuff, and you get less and less animated because you're concentrating on your harder parts that I'm writing.
I used to be pretty intimidated, you know. I had to put up a front because I was really insecure about what it was that we were doing, and, you know, we were scratching our heads as to see whether or not we could stick around and stick it out and be here, you know, as long as we have. And we had, you know, now that we have, I think we're feeling better about it every day and more comfortable every day. It's really great to kind of track your career. Each time you play, you're on a bigger stage. You know, the crowd gets bigger. They start reacting to, you know, certain songs. I mean, last night I had so much fun looking out in the crowd at how many people actually like stuff from our first record. I guarantee you, when we played here in 2004, there was probably never a moment that there was a smile on my face. And the other night, I couldn't wipe a smile off my face. We knew we were wanting to stick around at Bonnaroo, so about 3 or 4 months ago, we went ahead and got a nice bus. The difference in the 15-passenger van and this bus here, oh man, I don't know, a ton of things. Flat screen TV, toilet that isn't a 5-gallon bucket super glued to the back of the van. And now we're in a bunch of buses. Crazy what a few years can do.
The cart outside of the bus, this was about 4:30. Like, literally, I got chill bumps when I saw the keys. So I figured out how to unlock everything. We put it in. I figured out how to reverse it. And at this point, like, I was just like blowing my own mind. I thought I was a genius. And so we went out into the field in front of the big stage, and nobody was there. We see 2 girls making out in the field, and we're circling around them. And, you know, like yelling at them, just doing fun stuff, you know, like we drove through a fountain. There was a big fountain of water, and we drove through that, and people were cheering for us. It was amazing, you know. And then we saw the silent disco, and we were like, yes. Like, the only thing that could have been better at that point was like maybe a burrito stand or something, which we did eat last night, didn't we? Whereas, yeah, so we drive off, pill out of there, and these security guards are waving us up, saying, get over, get over. And so I swerved out of the way and went past them. And then comes a much more souped up cart. Comes right and does one of these things and like gets right in front of me. So I whip around it and keep going, flooring it at like 8 miles per hour. And then they stop completely in front of us and we kind of hit their cart. And they're like, get out of the cart. So we're like, sweet dude, I had no idea you were talking to me. And so like I get out, he's like, sit down. I'm like, it's muddy. He's like, sit down. And the only thing I was scared about, I did not want to get tased. My friends told him who I was, and he didn't believe me at all. He was like, I've seen every member of that band, and you're not one of them. I was like, dude, I changed my hair. Like, come on, cut me some slack. It's a new thing. It was humid outside too, so I was having trouble with it. Yeah, it was flopping down. So the head of security comes over, and I'm thinking, okay, be cool, and like this guy can get us out of it. And so he picks me up, and he's like, all right, he's like, go get in my car. And I said, like, maybe we're cool, and so I go get in the car, and then the other guys were like, what? Those guys were so mad, and then we went back to the bus. And then what did we eat? Chicken bomb. A chicken bomb? What is that? That explains a lot to me right now. Chicken.
Hey, is this video gonna be going on like over?
Compared to, because I've not been in another band. But I mean, I will say this: we've all been in fights together, and we're all still together. And then there's other people who we got into fights with that we'd never talk to again. So like, if I was in another band, like there's a chance that I could get into a fight with somebody and never want to talk to them again. Just boom. Yeah, if we weren't brothers, I'm sure we would have broken up by now with the fights that we've been in. So I guess we got that going for us.
We did this record in New York City, and the first 4 we did, let's see, 3.5 in LA, and then 1.5 or whatever in Nashville. We just wanted to change the scenery, so none of us had ever lived in the city before. I mean, Caleb his girl has a place there, so just kind of back and forth, but thought it'd be kind of neat just to, walk to a studio every day, or, your Matt, your cab. So this record, we really, went in there to just have fun and make the music that we were inspired to make. And we finished it about 6 weeks ago. So it's being, I guess, mixed or mastered or something right now. But we're really stoked about it. Right now it's called Southbound, but we've now learned that there are a gazillion other bands that have songs named Southbound, so we're going to have to change the name of it. But that was actually the last song that we recorded for the record, and it's kind of neat because that was kind of our way of saying, yeah, we just spent 6 weeks in New York making this record, but guess what? This is who we are, this is where we're from, this is the kind of people we are, so it was basically us bidding farewell to New York City and thanking them for loaning us their city for a few weeks. I mean, we had no idea that anybody would even really like it. We were just going to put it on the record just because we could, and, we really had fun playing it. But everybody that hears it now, really, I mean, last night, these people were great. They had never heard it before.
Immediately, it was like the whole crowd had already heard the song 1,000,000 times. They were all right in it from the word go. And after the show, we all looked at each other like, man, that song was like it, like it was written 50 years ago. And everyone was right there from the beginning, and they were there till the end. And I don't know. And we knew when we recorded that record, we said that song would go over well at Bonnaroo. We had a feeling about it. We didn't know it would go over as well as it did, but it was shocking.
And this festival is amazing. It has everything you'd want in a festival, minus a big-ass lake that you can jump into.
We played a show and now we're on a bus and we'll be home in 30 minutes.
And this festival is amazing. It has everything you'd want in a festival, minus a big-ass lake that you can jump into.
We played a show and now we're on a bus and we'll be home in 30 minutes. That's awesome.
I mean, it's, you know, Tennessee is where we grew up. It's, you know, it's very, I guess, very familiar to us. It's got a, that's the great thing about Bonnaroo. It's got such a, like a close-knit vibe. Like, you'll very seldom run into anyone here that hasn't been here for the last 5 or 6 years straight. Molly's Chambers are like the old bands, but I mean, obviously, You, Somebody, and Sex on Fire are probably the ones that get the most rise out of people. But man, we played a new one last night, and it's kind of sing-along, and they went nuts. So that's you know, that's a good thing. That's also another good thing about Bonnaroo. We've got a record coming out. Just kind of let them be little guinea pigs, bounce it off of them, see what they're into.
And we'll probably throw 3 or 4 new ones in there. It's hard. You don't want to play it all because you don't want everybody to have heard everything on the record. So we don't know what goes over the best. We just know what goes over the best out of the 4 that we played. And afterwards, people are like, man, amazing show. Like, I love that you guys played new stuff. But when you do it, you feel really weird. It's like playing in Japan. They're very polite, and they like clap for like 10 seconds, and they stop clapping completely. And it's like, yeah, totally. You hear crickets, and you like click off your tuner and start the next song. We love the Pixies, and Where's My Mind is like, arguably, you know, top 10 songs ever for me. I like love that song, and it like hit me in high school, and I never stopped listening to the Pixies after that. But that was the first song that really hit me.
I think we had only played that song twice before, and had so horribly both times that we were like, our last rehearsal, we were like, no way we're playing that song at Bonnaroo. Absolutely no way we're going to set ourselves up for disaster. It's such an iconic and great song. There's no way we want to be known as the band that mutilated, you know, Where's My Mind? And then the next time we played it was last night for all those people.
It's definitely a challenge playing a festival like this, and especially headlining. You've got a lot of weight on you. You've got to, not only do you want people to think it was an amazing show, but you want to be the best headliner. You want to be, if not the band, one of the bands that people walk away saying like, man, did you see that show? That was sick. So that's the biggest challenge for us.
Last night was truly definitely one of our proudest moments as a band, and you know, what a great way to kick off our you know, our summers and playing in our backyard.
All of our friends, all of our family, everyone that was there 6 years ago when we played in the tent, those are really the people that came up to me and just, you know, said how proud they were of us. We kind of stuck it out. And the bands that were playing 6 years ago when we were here, a lot of them don't even play music anymore. And the fact that we worked our way up, the headline on a stage that the next night was going to have Stevie Wonder on it, and you know, it's just pretty nuts. I don't want to be done with Bonnaroo. It's one of my favorite festivals. I'll definitely be back. You know, whether or not I'm on stage, I'll definitely be back. But you know, I don't think we're the kind of band that plays a show and thinks that we can't beat it next time. Hell, we might come back and do a version of the Flaming Lips, doing a version of Outside the Moon.